How to add medications to a client. Click the client's picture. Click Medications. This is the medication page. This section is about the medication. This section is about the schedule. So this is a scheduled medication. You're going to type in what's ever on the label, including the name of the medication, the strength, and the form. Okay. If this would have another different name, you can enter it there, which is very handy to do. Order date is not required. That would generally be the very first time a medication was taken by the client, which you may or may not know. And this start date, which is this one, and start time, which is this one, is only used by the system to schedule a medication. It is not the time when a medication is administered. So for example, if I wanted to start this medication today at 8 a.m., I would need this time to be prior to that, because the system, if I left this at 1:49 p.m., the system would not know that we wanted to include that medication today at 8 a.m. Purpose is a required field. You need to know why you're giving a medication. Side effects can be entered. If they are not entered, the user is going to see an FDA link that would take them to this page. If you do enter a side effect, you would see the side effects. Plus, you would see the link, okay? Detail instructions, whichever is on the medication. Okay, and you can also put in additional instructions like take with applesauce, etc. If and only if there are missed dose instructions that you wish to carry, you can enter them here. Prescriber, if you have the medical professionals established, which I don't in this case, you could use the drop down to select the prescriber. If you had diagnosis established, you could select a diagnosis for this medication. Okay. You can indicate if a medication is a controlled substance and or a psychotropic and or a treatment or therapy. We will discuss medication counts on a video regarding medical services. You can require that a note be entered even if a medication is not a PRN. Generally, you don't. You can also include a medication in a group. For example, if the medication included acetaminophen, you could build an acetaminophen group and then put all of the medications that had acetaminophen in it, so that as you were giving medications during the day, you would know how much acetaminophen the client had consumed at that point. Okay? Pharmacy, same thing. If we had set up pharmacies, we could select which pharmacy that this medication came from. We also have an option to not show the time on the medication administration page. If that's what you wish, you would put a check mark here, but you still need to put in a time for that medication to be scheduled for. So we're just going to say in this case, it's going to be 8 a.m. That's the gabapentin, and I insert the record. I would verify that it was inserted, 8 a.m. There's the first medication. Now let's add another medication, and let's just say that this one we only give once a week. So it's scheduled. I know it's kind of silly. And the purpose is joy. And the side effects are weight gain. And the detailed instructions will be take 5 M&Ms every Friday. Okay? So I'm not going to have this scheduled to be done every day or given every day. So I'm going to use the schedule options. I'm going to say other time. I'm going to select days. I'm going to select Friday, and I will say 8 a.m. So this medication is only going to appear on Fridays at 8 a.m. And I'm going to insert the record. If I had another medication, let's just say it was maybe a Haldol injection. And I'm just going to ignore all of this. I just want to show you that you would be able to go other time. And if that was done every 90 days, you'd be able to schedule 90 days. And you'd probably want to get that charted by 3 in the afternoon. Okay. So the options here are every X days, every X hours. Remember we talked about the days and I had selected Friday for the M&Ms. I could select Sunday and Tuesday if I wanted to. We can do every month. And if we select every month, the system is going to look at this date. So if I left it 8/11, it would do every month on the 11th day of the month. Okay? I can do is on off, meaning I'm going to administer it 21 days and I'm going to hold it for 7 as an example. Another example might be a medication that is both scheduled and PRN, and that's what this option is. So when I use this option, it will require me to put in a schedule, and it will also insert it down in the PRN section. If an item is purely a PRN, and for example, this isn't the best example, but it's purely PRN and it's given for pain and fever, I would just insert PRN and then fill in the rest of the information and then insert the record. In that case, a follow-up note is by default required, and we can put in the time frame for the default follow-up note to be required. We set up 60 minutes, but you could say it could be 2 hours or whatever time frame you need to know if that medication was effective. So that is how you schedule a medication. Once it's been scheduled, staff will be able to chart on it. And you can check what that looks like by going to medication admin. So that gabapentin is the only one that I added. And if the client took it as prescribed, all staff needs to do is check it and then click Save Records, and then you will have a record of the fact that Tom took his gabapentin today at 1:57. This is not the best example. We're a little late, and you might just say late entry. Medication given on, maybe we were on a field trip. Okay. Okay, so that's how we add medications.